Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanwad Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna. Om Agyantimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swabhadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखम करोति वाचालं पंगुम लंगायते गिरे यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। Okay, continuing with the Maharaj Chitrakethu pastime, hopefully we will discuss some detail and I will finish the pastime today. Um, the pastime is long. If we go, there are three chapters only on the pastime of Maharaj Chitrakethu. But I will cover some of the important interactions and I will finish the pastime and we'll begin with uh, some other uh, something else from Shrimad Bhagavatam next week. The place where we are in is Maharaj Chitraketu lost his son Narad Muni and Angira Muni. They appeared before him, although Maharaj Chitraketu was crying and wailing and he could not recognize who they are. Everybody was crying and they started speaking. And they were speaking about the temporary nature of relationships in this world. And this theme continues. They continue to speak. This is something the last verse that we discussed last week. Last week. Last week was Krishna Lila. Uh, so I will repeat this for the sake of continuity. O King, both you and your advisors, wives, ministers, as well as everything moving and not moving throughout the entire cosmos at this time are in a temporary situation. You were all not together before your births and you will not be together after that. Therefore, the situation now is temporary. You are a king, you have wives, you have ministers, advisors, and you had a son. Just like your relationship with the son was temporary, likewise, your relationship with everything else is temporary. And Prabhupada in the purport gives example of a dream. Before the dream, nothing exists. After the dream, nothing exists. During the dream, there is so much ups and downs. Um, Likewise, at some point of time, nothing existed. Now, this whole situation is arranged, and soon nothing will exist again, also. So, that's the reality of relationships in this world. The Supreme Personality of Godhead creates by engaging a father to beget a son. He maintains by engaging a government or king to see the public's welfare, and he annihilates through the agents of killing, such as snakes. So through the father he creates, through king or however he maintains, and through snakes and other ways he kills. The agents for creation, maintenance, annihilation have no independent potency, But because of the spell of illusory energy, one thinks himself the creator, maintainer, and annihilator. One thinks, I have killed him, or I am maintaining him, or I am creating. So that is because of Lord's illusory energy, but everything is orchestrated by the Lord. One devotee recently asked me some complex family situation, and uh, they the some astrological things, and he was supposed to wear some kind of thread. Long story short, so he asked Prabhuji, should I take this seriously, wear it, is it auspicious, inauspicious, etc. And then my answer was, this thread will not save you if your time is up, and this thread will not take your life if you have time. So it doesn't matter really, because everything is, we may we may um, um, assume so many things in this world I can change, but it's a lot's play, and everything is already arranged based on our fruitive activities, our karma in the past. Maharaj Chitrakethu, after he heard, there were many verses that we discussed last week. After he heard all these words of enlightenment, he spoke. Sri Sukadev Goswami continued, thus enlightened by the instruction of Narada and Angira, Maharaj Chitrakethu became hopeful with knowledge. Wiping his shriveled face with his hand, the king began to speak. So we saw Maharaj Chitrakethu was practically loudly wailing at the loss of his son. Sign of ignorance. Um, um, when he heard such instructions about the temporary nature and how no one is related, out of illusion you are thinking this is mine and this is not mine, and etc. When he heard these hopeful words, he wiped his tears. He kind of came to the knowledge, and Maharaj Chitraketu spoke. You have both come here dressed like our dutas, liberated person, just to cover your identities. But I see that of all men, you are the most elevated in awareness. You know everything as it is, therefore, you are the greatest of all great personalities. See, sometimes people, uh, um, Maharaj Chitraketu says, uh, but I see that of all men, you are the most elevated. So there were thousands of people in the Sabha who were crying and wailing and kind of supporting in the sorrow of Maharaj Chitraketu. But two people, they spoke of knowledge. And Maharaj Chitraketu was, he could immediately conclude that among all the people, you both are most elevated. So uh, it's not that we have to support all the time the crying and the situation, but knowledge matters. And saintly person, rather than just sympathizing, they illuminate illuminate the heart. And Maharaj Chitraketu could see that you both are something, you both are different people, um, you both are great personalities. um, you have come here, I don't know who you guys are. So he said, you have, they were like dressed like a brahmanas, and he could not understand. Maharaj Chitraketu continued, Brahmanas who are exalted to the position of Vaishnavas, the most dear servants of Krishna, sometimes dress like madmen just to benefit materialists like us, who are always attached to sense gratification, and just to dissipate our ignorance. These Vaishnavas wander on the surface of the globe according to their desires. So, glorifying Vaishnavas, that their purpose is they travel, and um, they educate people who are covered by uh, sense gratification, covered by ignorance and living a life of ignorance. So they are great um, welfare workers, and same principle is glorified by um, gopis. This is when um, um in on the night of Sharad Purnima, when uh, Vamsi Vata Tathastita Karshan Venu Soner Gope Gopinatha Shriyeshtuna. So Krishna came to Vamsivat and he played his flute. He attracted the heart of all the gopis. All the gopis came running, and when Krishna was with them, the gopis became little proud that Krishna has finally shown his mercy to us. And when Krishna sensed little pride in these gopis, Krishna disappeared again, and all the gopis were very much kind of aggrieved, um, and they were missing Krishna, um, and they were searching out for Krishna. So there is a song of separation that they sang, looking for Krishna. It's called Gopi Geet. It comes in Shrimad Bhagavatam, 31st chapter, 10th canto. And one of the verses Gopi says is, Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जना भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जना. They are glorifying these welfare workers, munificent workers. Who are those? They are called Bhurida. Bhurida Jana means they are the most munificent or welfare worker of the society. Who are those? Tava Kathamritam. They speak about Lord's Katha, which is like an Amrit to Tapta Jivanam. Tapta Jivanam is this material world, and the relationship and the anxieties and the situations in this material world is like a fire. Everyone is burning in fire of anxiety, tapta jivanam. And in that tapta jivanam, this katha of yours, tava katha, Krishna katha, tava katha is like amrit. Same thing we sing every day in the morning also, the first line. Samsara dava nalalidha loka tranaya karunya ghana ghana tvam. Samsara dava nalalidha loka. That this material world is like a burning forest fire. Everyone's heart is burning with anxieties. That's the nature of this world. Uh, Either it is relationship problem, wealth problem, homes problems, office problems. Everybody has problems. Everybody has problems. So the nature of this world and everything in this world is burning with anxiety. It's a place of kuntha. Everyone is having this tapta jivana. But this Krishna Katha is like Amrit. It gives so much solace to the heart. Kavibhiriditam Kalmashapaham. And what is the effect of this Krishna Katha? First of all, it is spoken by Kavi. Kavi means greatly learned personalities or Vaishnavas or great devotees of the Lord. Kavi bir iditam Kalmashapaham. Kalmashapaham means it destroys the sinful activities. First of all, this Krishna Katha act as nectar to the burning heart, and the reason the heart is burning is because of our own sinful activities in the past. That's why so many problems. And Krishna Katha, what it does is Kalmashapaham. Kalmashapaham means it destroys the sinful activities, and it gives like a soothing rays of Amrit to our heart. Um, Shravana Mangalam. And whoever hears Krishna Katha, his life becomes auspicious. Uh, Shrimadatam. Shrimad means this Krishna Katha is filled with divine ecstasies. Um, because the nature of, because Krishna is transcendental, um, and his Katha is also transcendental because it's Krishna Katha. So whenever and wherever Krishna Katha is spoken, it is filled with divinity. Maharaj Parikshit heart was burning with anxiety when he was cursed to die in 7 days. But when he was engaged in hearing Krishna Katha for 7 days, he had no hunger, no anxiety, no thirst, and he was completely transcendental. So this is the nature of Krishna Katha. That's why on regular basis, possibly on daily basis, hearing Krishna Katha is very, very important. And that also helps us to attract relationship to Krishna. Um, and one must take advantage to hear something about devotees of Krishna as well as something about Krishna. Because when we hear directly about Krishna or about Lord Chaitanya, that will help us to understand Krishna and Lord Chaitanya more, and help develop attachment and relationship with him. Um, uh, Atatam Bhuvi. Bhuvi is this planet, this universe, this planet Earth. Atatam means spreading. So Grinanti is speaking. Grinanti ye bhurida jana. So those people are actually munificent worker or social welfare worker who are engaged in traveling and speaking Krishna Katha, because it gives a cooling effect to the burning tapta jivanam, and it just by hearing Krishna Katha, it destroys all the sins. So those people, Atatam, Bhuvi, who are traveling on this planet Earth and discussing Krishna Katha, they are most munificent worker. And this particular pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was lying down in one of the garden, um, in between Jagannath Rath Yatra. When Rath stopped at a certain place, Mahaprabhu, they were dancing like anything, and Mahaprabhu took a break and he went to the nearby garden and he was lying. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told uh, um, Maharaj Pratap that this is the time, because he was eager for the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And uh, um, Maharaj Pratap went there and he recited this verse. He started with Gopi Geet from the first verse. Sarva Bhattacharya told that sing Gopi Geet, and started with the first verse. This is the ninth verse in the Gopi Geet. And when he came, Mahaprabhu became ecstatic and he told, "You are Bhurida, you are Bhurida, you are Bhurida." And Mahaprabhu gave lot of mercy to Maharaj Pratap Rudra, that you are most merciful by, because you are giving me, you are making me hear this Gopi Geet, or you are making me hear Krishna Katha. So same thing is the consciousness of Maharaj Chitraketu. He greatly glorified these two personalities, that everybody is simply in sorrow, but you people are talking about the true nature of this material world and Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha includes speaking about Krishna and speaking about the temporary nature of this world. Different pastimes have different mood. Like this pastime of Maharaj Chitraketu is more like the temporary nature of this material world. That is coming out way more clearly. But like pastime like Vratrasura, there is a lot of glorification of Krishna. And yesterday, last week, we saw this Damodar Leela, that is like pure Krishna Katha. But they are all Krishna Kathas. Maharaj Chitraketu continued, "O great souls, I have heard that among the great and perfected persons wandering on the surface of the earth to instruct knowledge to people covered by ignorance are Sanat Kumar, Narada, Angira, Devala, Asita, Vyasa, Markandeya, Gautama, Vasishtha, Parashuram, Kapila, Sukadev, Durvas, and many others. You must certainly be among them." So he is glorifying, and he said, "These are the people who travel and who instruct fallen conditioned souls like myself." Very humble position, Maharaj Chitraketu. He came to his senses also. So he's asking them, "Who are you guys? Who are both of you? You are great munificent worker. Who are both of you? You must be among them." And actually, they were Narada and Angira, and he took those names. Proper writes, their great personalities wander. Wander means they travel to distribute real knowledge. Without this knowledge, human life is wasted. Human form of life is meant for realization of one's relationship with Krishna or God. One who lacks this knowledge is categorized among the animals. It is very easy, unless we are constantly hearing Krishna Katha, that we will flow with our emotions. We will flow with our attachments, and we will kind of forget um, forget Krishna altogether. That's how this Maya works. Maya means illusion. She immediately puts us into a bodily platform, and all that is heavy on us is what problems I have, how do I resolve them, complete material platform. But the moment there is Krishna Katha, then we feel like, oh, so this vision of identifying ourselves as Jivara Swarup or Krishna Nitya Das, I am part and parcel of Krishna, is very easily forgotten because Maya attacks us all the time. So constant hearing of Hari Katha, Krishna Katha, is something that will help revive that relationship. Practically everyone throughout the universe, especially on this planet, Bhurloka, thinks that there is no separate existence of the body and soul. Although there is a theoretical understanding, it's very easily forgotten. And therefore, no need of self realization, but that is not a fact. Therefore, all the Brahmanas listed here, being devotees, travel all over the world to awaken Krishna consciousness in the heart of such foolish materialists. We see that's what Narad Muni does all the time. That's why now we say जयम विष्णुपाद परम हंस परिवराजकाचार्य स्तोत्र his divine grace Abhay Chan Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So the word we use is Paramhamsa. Paramhamsa means he never get illusioned by Maya. Paramhamsa. Just like a swan can distinguish water from milk, a hamsa, just like a hamsa is swan, Paramhamsa Vaishnav is one who knows what is material, what is spiritual. His consciousness uh, is never kind of contaminated by the illusory energy of the Lord. That person is Paramhamsa. Um, um, Parivarajikacharya. Parivarajikacharya means one who travels and preaches. Like these sannyasi, they are Parivarajikacharya. Um, um, Sukadev Goswami would travel and would go to householders' home. He would stay there only till till the time they milk the cows, and he will give spiritual knowledge. So that's these are Bhuridas, or the munificent workers of the human society. Because you are great personalities. The queens who poisoned um, um, Harsha Shoka, Chitrakethu's son, were all hearing. His own wife, who criticized the Supreme Creator, that you must be heartless, merciless, very immature in your creation, she was listening. They all were feeling ashamed. And we will see they repented later on today. We will see they repented. Maharaj Chitraketu was naturally a devotee of the Lord. He was a great soul, um, and Narad Muni addresses to that you are actually a devotee of the Lord, a great soul, but just he was covered by those heavy emotions. Chitraketu Maharaj continued, very nice mood, because you are great personalities. You can give me real knowledge. I am as foolish as a village animal, like a pig or dog, because I merge in a darkness of ignorance. Therefore, please ignite the torch of knowledge to to save me. And we recite the same prayer. The spiritual master, I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master came with a lamplight of knowledge and told me, "You fool, why are you wasting your life? Thinking yourself as this and this, and associating yourself in this and this sinful way, and doing all these sinful activities. Why don't you understand you're part and parcel of Krishna?" So that's our position before the spiritual master entered in our life through his instruments. um, and Mara Chitraketu, see, he is a king. um, he has how many 10 million queens, they are all there. He has his servants, they're all there. And in front of everybody, he's telling, I am as foolish as a village animal, like a pig or a dog, because I am merged in darkness of ignorance. And he could see his wailing and everything, and such identification and such attachment and such bodily conception. And but he, by the words of Narad Muni, because it was coming very situational right at that time, they kind of shook the heart of Maharaj Chitraketu. And Prabhupada said, this is a way to receive knowledge. Receive knowledge. One must submit oneself at the lotus feet of great personalities who can actually deliver transcendental knowledge. Only one who is actually eager to receive knowledge is eligible to approach guru or spiritual master. So one of the qualification Prabhupada mentions here about a person who is receiving transcendental knowledge is eagerness. When we are not eager, we will hear Krishna Katha, but we will not absorb anything. Nothing will go inside. It will just come and pass by, and it will become like a ritual for us. Ki, okay, hearing done, done, done. But when we are eager, let me see um, um, what um, what my spiritual master is speaking, what Krishna is speaking, what Srimad Bhagavatam is speaking, what Sukadev Goswami is speaking. Let me see. Let me try to learn something from it. Let me try to apply something in my life by hearing these instructions. Then, when we are eager, to that extent, the knowledge is revealed to us from within our heart. Uh,
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, how do we build that eagerness all the time? Sometimes we are eager, but many times we don't feel eager because we are just doing and we get used to with it. So how do we have that eagerness all the time?
well, Prabhu, it's a nice question. My understanding in our stage, it's more of a training program. Um, and One time, Yugal Kishore Prabhu says, if we are enthusiastic to hear and chant, which is something similar to eagerness, this line I remember, and he said that is a sign of Krishna's mercy. Krishna's mercy means we are enthusiastic all the time, and sometime we feel enthusiastic and sometime we don't feel enthusiastic. It happens with me also. And when I feel that I'm not enthusiastic, I immediately offer prayer. My Lord, please show me your mercy. I'm not feeling enthusiastic to serve you. I'm lacking that eagerness to do it. um, um, is that all right, Printo? That's what I can say.
Okay, so Prabhuji, you're saying like offering prayers, right? That's the only way.
That's something I personally do in my life. Whenever, first thing is self identification. When we identify, oh, I'm missing, this is one of the most important aspect in Krishna consciousness, and I'm missing something, then I identify that I lack Krishna's mercy, and that's why I don't have that. um, um, that kind of helps me personally.
Okay. Prabhuji, any prayers you recommend which we can do at that time?
Well, one of the important anga of devotional service is uh, um, vandanam, shravanam, kirtanam, padasevanam, archanam, vandanam. And these prayers is like something that flows from the heart of a aspiring Vaishnava continuously, day and night, in a mood of humility. I mean, there is nothing like a Sanskrit verse that I personally recite, other than something that I do on daily basis, but not like situationally I recite on those circumstances. But this constant flow is there that please show me your mercy. And this prayer is so important because Krishna reveals in our heart kind of where we are lacking, where we are lacking. Um, some thought comes about some Vaishnav, about something from the past. So this mind is like constantly burning itself in this material existence, and taking constant shelter of Krishna. So problem is half solved when we identify, oh, I'm in trouble. That problem is half solved, and immediately Raghunath Das Goswami says, take shelter of Vaishnavas, call out to devotees. They are Krishna's cops. They will come to save us from all these emotions and um, burning desires in the heart for so many different things. And how I apply it in my life is I personally immediately call out to my spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada, please help me in this situation, please help me in this situation. And taking shelter of Nityananda Prabhu, whenever you see them or you see a picture if you have at home, this is very important aspect of devotional
Today is
service.
65. Today is 65. It's Saturday. Which room number is? 222. Just 1 minute.
Himal Prabhu, is it okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Uh, okay. We continue. Praveen Prabhu, is that okay for you also?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Angira Muni said, "My dear king, when you desire to have a son, I approach you. Indeed, I am the same Angira Muni, Angira Rishi, who gave you this son. As for this Rishi, he is the great sage Narada, the direct son of Lord Brahma." So Angira Muni is introducing, and he said, "I am Angira and he is Narada," because he asked, "You are great, many munificent workers, traveling all over, enlightened, separate from everybody else in the kingdom. You both are very special. Who are you?" "Well, I am Angira and he is Narada." And Angira Muni said, "Well, I am the same Rishi who came and who gave you the son." Um, 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 so they disclosed their identities. And then, what is the purpose of our coming? Angira Muni continued, "My dear king, you are an advanced devotee of Supreme Personality of Godhead." Angira Muni could see that. And this is what I was sharing before. He has told Maharaj Chitrakethu, "You are not an ordinary man. You are actually an advanced devotee." Although he was very much absorbed, but it's just the nature of illusory energy. It captures us. But in your heart, you have devotion in your heart. To be absorbed in lamentation for the loss of something material is unsuitable for a person like you. Same thing Krishna told Arjuna, that you are an advanced personality, you are an Arya. For you to lament over what is not worthy of grief is a sign of ignorance. Why have you allowed these impurities to come upon you? So similar instruction, exactly same situation is Angira Muni. He was about to fight and kill his relatives, um, and king has just lost his son. So but the same situation. Therefore we have both come to relieve you from this false lamentation, which is due to your being merged in the darkness of ignorance. When a devotee comes in our life and help us, it is actually Krishna's help. Krishna knows, and sometimes we do become covered by illusory energy, and Krishna comes in the form of devotees, in the form of Shrimad Bhagavatam, in the form of some YouTube, some Hari Katha. It may Krishna may speak to our spouse, but it is all Krishna's mercy. And he said, "It's not worthy for you to lament and wail in this way. Um, we should not worthy over something which is material by nature. We have come to relieve you from this false lamentation, which is due to your being merged in darkness of ignorance. You are acting like a fool, and we have come to deliver you from this. For those who are spiritually advanced, to be affected by material loss or gain is not at all desirable." Krishna says, "One who is beyond the modes is someone who is unaffected in happiness and distress." It is very easy when said, same in happiness and distress. But when we are actually in distress, and then we see uh, our consciousness, and when we actually gain something which is worth gaining in our sense, and then we see our consciousness, it's very easy to get affected by those things. This is same quoting Bhagavad Gita. When I first came to your home, I could have given you the supreme transcendental knowledge. But when I saw that your mind was absorbed in material things, I gave you only a son who caused you jubilation and lamentation. So Angira Muni told Maharaj Chitraketu, "I came before, but you are not ready. You are not ready. I came, the spiritual, these Bhuri Das, they never go to give a son to anyone. They go only for one person, to enlighten the soul in loving relationship to Krishna. But when the mind is too attached to material things, that person is not ready. You speak to him, but he is like, um, 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 in Hindi there is a saying, chikna gada. Chikna gada means, um, uh, just like an object with oil on it. You put whatever water, it will just slip off, nothing will stay. So likewise, if you speak Krishna katha, and words of enlightenment to a person who has material attachments, lot of material attachments, whatever you speak, nothing will stick with him. So a saintly person is one who speaks according to time, place, circumstances. Prabhupada used to say that speak according to time, place, circumstances. Speak according to qualification of the people, whatever they can absorb. Speak. The result is not what you speak. The result is what they absorb. An expert preacher is one who knows what they can absorb and he speaks accordingly. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhoga Ishwarya Prasakta Nam Taya Paharita Chetasam Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Samadhavna Vidhiyate. So he says, for those who are in um, whose minds are absorbed in such material things, they cannot develop a resolute determination to serve the Lord because the mind is too distracted. Now, two reasons. Angira Muni says two reasons for suffering. Why a living entity suffers in this material world. And one reason is here, another reason is the next verse. My dear king, you are now actually experiencing the misery of a person who has sons and daughters. O king, one's children, wife, house, opulence, object of sense perception are all temporary. One's kingdom, military power, treasury, servants, ministers, friends, and relatives are all causes of fear, illusion, lamentation, and distress. They are like a Gandharva Nagar, a non existent place that one imagines to exist in the forest. Because they are impermanent, they are no better than illusions, dreams, and mental concoction. It's a very loaded verse. There are so many things Angira Muni speaks in these verses. Um, um, one second. Yeah, this particular pastime of Maharaj Chitrakethu is more focused on the temporary nature of this material world. Some of the pastimes we discuss is more on relationship with Krishna and how they render devotional service, like how Ritasura was absorbed in Krishna, how Maharaj Ambarish was absorbed in Krishna. But this particular pastime is just renunciation from this material world, that the true nature of this material world. Um, Okay, now I don't know what all should we discuss. Now, what is the cause of fear? The cause of fear is attachment. Attachment to something temporary, whether it is house, opulence, relatives, family, um, um, or anything else. They all cause fear. They all cause illusion. Illusion means because we identify ourselves with them. This is my kingdom, I am the king, these are my servants, and etc etc etc. Because we don't identify anymore ourselves as part and parcel of Krishna, and we identify with our surrounding, that puts us into illusion. So Angira Muni says this is the cause of illusion, this is a cause of fear. uh, um, Attachment, when we develop attachment to these things, there is a fear of losing whatever we possess. And if we like possessing that, then there is a fear comes because of attachment to asat, and these are all things that are described by Angira Muni. They are asat means temporary, they are not eternal. Sat means eternal. Satchitananda Vigraha, Krishna is Sat. We are also Satchitananda Vigraha, we are eternal, but this is asat. Lamentation and distress, they cause lamentation. um, um, the situations are arranged in such a way the person is always submerged in lamentation, whether it is coming from um, um, servants, ministers, um, relatives, friends, families, somewhere or the other. These are the causes of our lamentation, because something doesn't go well, and So this is like a Gandharva Nagari. Gandharva Nagari, very beautiful place that doesn't exist. So Gandharva Nagar, non-existent place that one imagines to exist in the forest. Because they are impermanent, they are no better than illusion, dreams, and mental concoction. This word use is mental concoction. Um, let's see something that Prabhupada says there. At night, one dreams of tigers and snakes, and while dreaming, he actually sees them. It causes fear and distress. Naturally, if you see a tiger, what will happen? Fear will come, distress will come. But as soon as the dream is broken, they are no longer exist. Likewise, when we leave the body and look back at our activities and desires, we can distinguish illusion from reality. But when we are in the body and we are living the situation, everything seems so important to be taken care. Um, 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 Rishabh Dev says Janasya Mohoyam Aham Mimiti. These are actually the cause of this is how a living entity is illusion, identifying with aham and mameti. Aham means this is mine. This is this is my home, my car, my family, my job, my wealth, um, my skills, my intelligence, my business, um, my. This is called aham. And I, uh, connection to the body and attachment to the body. This is called mameti. So this is called aham mameti. I own something, living and non-living, and I am this body. These are the two causes of uh, um, suffering in this world. Um, and they arise because they're non-permanent. They're no better than illusion, dreams, and mental concoction. Illusion because they put us into illusion. Dream because it's not true and we identify this is something um, true. And mental concoction is because these are just impressions. And we were discussing in our Bhagavad Gita discussion how the mind carries impressions, just like um, air carries the aroma. When goes through a garbage, it smells filthy. When goes through flower vines, it smells very sugandhit, smells very fragrant. Likewise, but the air has nothing to do with garbage or flower vines. It just takes the aroma. Likewise, mind carries impressions. Mind becomes attached. And we discuss how Maharaj Bharat has nothing to do with the deer before deer came in his life. But for 1 2 years, the deer came in his life, resulted in Maharaj Bharat taking birth as a deer. But just 2 years back, Maharaj Bharat has no attachment to deer. So it was a mental impression that was imposed on the mind of Maharaj Bharat. So that's why it's called mental concoction. Likewise, everything in this world is a mental concoction. It's an impression. Oh, now um, this is my wealth, and this is my, and this is mine, and this, and these are all impressions. When these are all impressions taken by us, because we are in the life and we are carry different impressions around us. um, when we were born, we have none of those impressions. But they come over a period of time, and they result, and that's why Krishna says they result in our future birth based on those impressions. So the word used is mental concoction. All our relationship, desire, etc. are self-imposed impressions on our mind. Another cause of suffering is the body. One cause is aham, this is mine. Another cause is I. Um, um, the living entity is absorbed in the body, which is absorbed in body means in any way I can enjoy with the body and senses. Um, uh, Prakriti Sanikarshati. Living entity is struggling with these senses and the mind. Living entity is absorbed in the body, which is combination of Panchabhutas, the 10 senses, along with the mind. Through the mind, the living entity suffers the three kind of tribulations: Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adi Atmika. Therefore, this body is a source of misery. So, one source of misery is everything that is mine, that that conception. Another source of misery is this body, which is a great source of misery. The fact is that the living entity, while concocting with the mind, creates the material condition. I can enjoy the new car, etc. Because matter is destructible, through material condition, living entity suffers. Um, Krishna says, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kangshati. A person who is established on a Brahman platform, who knows that I am part and parcel of Krishna, he has no lamentation. Na sochati na kangshati. He has no anxiety, he has no lamentation, because he is identifying himself with the Sat. But a person who identifies himself with the Asat, which is temporary, he is full of anxiety and full of lamentation. So they are the cause of anxiety and lamentation. Okay. Uh, um, Therefore, considering with steady mind the truth about the soul, give up faith that temporary objects are eternal in this world of duality, and take shelter of detachment. Thus you will obtain peace. So he asked him to develop some detachment from his attachment is causing him. Why he was suffering? Attachment. To the extent we are attached, to that extent we suffer. Cause of suffering is attachment. um, when a relative pass away, doesn't matter to us much. When our someone who is like very close to us pass away, um, brings so much suffering. When the neighbors pass away, all right, doesn't matter. Attachment is the cause of suffering. um, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also, with the weapon of detachment cut this material existence and surrender to Krishna in the spiritual world. Prabhupada says the Krishna consciousness movement is factually endeavoring to bring human society to a sober condition. Human society in these waves of ocean, to bring them to a sober condition. When one understands that we are not the body but the owner of the body, he can direct himself towards that goal. Okay. Uh, um, After speaking these words, and then after Maharaj Chitraketu glorifying Narada and Angira as that you are Bhuridas, Narad Muni, when Chitraketu Maharaj said, I am like a dog, I am like a pig, ignorant, please help me, take me out. When that eagerness he saw in Maharaj Chitraketu, Narad Muni became very merciful. And he accepted Narad Muni accepted Maharaj Chitraketu as his disciple. And that's where we see, as Vattasura is telling, I am again, why I am in this demon body, I again want to associate with the lotus feet of Narad Muni. Let me become Dasanudas again, servant of servant again. So here the great says now the story continues. The great says Narada continued, my dear king, attentively receive from me a mantra. Mantra is given by Guru. Um, when mantra is received from Guru, it becomes, it carries the potency, which is the most auspicious. After accepting it from me, in 7 nights you will be able to see the Lord face to face. This is the mercy of Narad Muni and his potency. He said, I will give you this mantra. If you chant this mantra, because you are receiving it from me, you will see the Lord face to face. Now, if we chant the same mantra for 7 nights, we will not see Lord face to face. Why? Because we are not receiving it personally from Narad Muni. This is the difference between just receiving the mantra and receiving the mantra from Guru. Now we are chanting the same Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, but it is described like before initiation. This chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is like shooting with empty bullets. Like if you shoot a gun and it does not have any bullets, no matter what you shoot, it won't have that effect. The purpose of gun is not just to make a sound. The purpose of gun is to shot the target. But if there is no bullet, there is no purpose, it's just an empty sound. But when we receive the mantra from Guru, then it becomes empowered. And um, that's where so much importance on receiving mantra from Guru. When we get initiated, Guru gives us the mantra in our ears, and then it becomes empowered. Now for example, Gayatri mantra, it is given by Guru. If we chant Gayatri mantra before taking it from Guru, in our ear, it will not have any effect on us. But when it comes from the lotus mouth of spiritual master, then your life will be enlivened by that also. And Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, he personally chants on the beats, and he empowers the mantra and give it to you. So the mantra has to be received. I mean, so what we are doing now, it's just a practice, it's a preparation. It's a preparation so we can evolve our consciousness to come to the point of accepting a spiritual master. That's the goal. This is just a preparation. So because he received it from Narad Muni, Maharaj Chitrakethu saw Anantadev Sankarshan face to face after 7 nights. This is the potency of a spiritual master. And Prabhupada said this is a process of Diksha. The mantra becomes empowered when received from a bona fide spiritual master. My dear king, in former days, Lord Shiva and other demigods took shelter of the lotus feet of Sankarsana. Thus, they immediately got free from the duality of illusion and achieved unequaled and unsurpassed glories in spiritual life. You will very soon attain that very same position. Anyone who has become accomplished in practice of devotional service enjoy. This is Krishna telling in Bhagavad Gita. Anyone who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoy this knowledge within himself in due course of time. In other words, the first thing is training, where we train ourselves to accept a spiritual master, and then we accept a spiritual master in our heart. And then over period of time, whenever mercy comes, the spiritual master accepts us, and then the mantra becomes empowered. And then when we um, chant the mantra after being empowered by a bona fide spiritual master, over period of time we attain perfection. And Krishna also says, he says, Kale Natmani Vindati. Kale means over period of time. You attain yoga samsiddhi, you attain perfection over period of time. It takes some time. For him, after coming from Narad Muni, because he blessed him. Another reason, Angira Muni says, Maharaj Chitrakethu, you are a great devotee of Lord. This is another reason. Some people may be born in a stage of bhava, and some can be born in complete ignorance. I mean, birth is ignorance, but some people may have attained bhava in previous stage, in previous life. So Maharaj Chitrakethu, because he was so qualified, in 1 week he saw the Lord face to face. Sukadev Goswami continued, My dear King Parikshit, by his mystical power, the great sage Narada brought the dead son into the vision of all the lamenting relatives and then spoke as follows. And then um, already initiation is done and Maharaj Chitraketu is enlightened. But to give a final touch, so that sometimes we hear and then we think it makes sense, and then we go away, and then again illusory energy becomes very powerful. So to give a final touch so that he could give up his attachment to his lost son and not lament, it is very very difficult. I remember um, one one family in our congregation, they lost their son. And somebody showed me that the profile picture of the mother is still her son's her son's um, um, picture, the profile picture somebody showed me. So the attachment is very very strong. It's not easy. It's easy to say and then to actually practice this. So Narad Muni didn't want him that his realization can be uh, like a flash of light and then goes away. So he wanted to give him a deeper realization. So he empowered the son, and the soul, it is described in Garga Samhita, soul stays in the environment for 13 days. Um, if one is not a pure devotee of the Lord, if or one is not a devotee of the Lord, then it stays there for 13 days. So Narad Muni, by his transcendental potency, he brought the soul back into the body, and the child got up. But this time the child is very small, just hardly he walks and plays, and hardly he speaks broken languages, but he spoke the word of transcendental knowledge, because it was empowered by Narad Muni, the potency of a great sage. Narad Muni told the child, O living entity, all good fortune unto you. Just see your father and mother. All your friends and relatives are overwhelmed with grief because of your passing away. So in a way, just see आपने क्या किया इन सब लोगों के साथ. सब लोग का हाल बेहाल हो गया है. Because you died untimely. Now, Narad Muni is a completely self realized soul. There is no untimely death for the son. But Narad Muni is speaking such language just to enlighten everybody through the sun. He already enlightened, but the same word should come through the sun about the temporary nature of this world. So he said, You died untimely. But actually, based on his time, that much time he was planned to stay in that body. Because you died untimely, the balance of your life still remains. Therefore, you may re enter your body and enjoy the remainder of your life surrounded by your friends and relatives, except the royal throne and all the opulences given by your father. You are the only son. Your father is a king. Why don't you come back and become the king? And enjoy. There are so many people who love you. See your king and queen. See everybody. See the dasi who saw you dead. See how much they love. Just enjoy. Come back. By the mystic power of Narad Muni, Sukadev Goswami is speaking here, the living entity re entered his dead body for a short time and spoke in reply to Narad Muni's request. So he said, now the child spoke. According to the result of my fruitive activities, I, the living being, transmigrate from one body to another, sometime going to the species of demigods, sometime to the species of lower animals, sometime among the vegetables, and sometime to the human species. Therefore, in which birth were these my mother and father? No one is actually my mother and father. How can I accept these two people as my parents? So, already explained by Narad Muni and Angira Muni, but something when it came out from his own son that they are not my father and mother. I had father and mother when I was in a demigod body. As an animal, I had animal father, animal mother. As vegetable, my father and mother was the tree from where I was born, or the roots, or whatever. So I had father and mother in every birth. I cannot accept these people as my father and mother. This is all temporary relationship. Um, Something that Prabhupada quotes and Krishna mentions. Ishvara sarva bhuta nam hridaya deshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rani maya. Yantra is machine. The living entity is sitting in a machine made of maya, this panch bhutas. Brahmayan sarva bhutani, and he is rotating and he is traveling in different planets. This is something from Chaitanya Charitamrita. जन्मे जन्मे सभे पिता माता पाए, कृष्ण गुरु नाही मिले बजा हरिये. जन्मे जन्मे सभे पिता माता पाए. Every birth we have a mother and we have a father. Guru Krishna nahi mile baja hari ai. But the main, okay, let's read the translation, Prabhupada's translation. In the transmigration of the soul through different bodies, everyone in every form of life, be it human, animal, tree, or demigod, gets a father and mother. So it's not so great to have father and mother. Why? Because we have it all the time. This is not very difficult. The difficulty is to obtain a bona fide spiritual master and Krishna. This is something that we don't have in every birth. This is something we never had. Um, if we have this, we don't have to accept a temporary father and mother. Um, um, this difficulty, the difficulty is to obtain bona fide spiritual master in Krishna. Therefore, the duty of a human being is to capture the opportunity to come in touch with Krishna's representative, the bona fide spiritual master. Under the guidance of spiritual master, the spiritual father, one can return home, back to Godhead. So one should not take relationship in this world very seriously. Perform your duty. Whatever duties you have, do your duty. But the focus should be accepting a spiritual master, accepting Krishna, and making that relationship as strong as anything. Like my spiritual master, he says, um, the person I love the most in this world is my spiritual master, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He did not say any other relationship. He just A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So that stage should come, come that that relationship becomes most important. Um, 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 and he said another person I love the most is my dear friend Bhakti Tirth Maharaj, because I had such divine loving exchange in his presence, remembrance of Krishna, such divine deep remembrance of Krishna in his presence. So Vaishnav association and spiritual master, that is most rare. Um, the child spoke, continued, an animal may remain in the custody of a human being for some time, and then the same animal may be transferred to the possession of another human beings. Like, people can go and buy a dog. So somebody owns a dog or a cat. In America, cat is also very famous. Uh, so you can go and buy a dog. Then now dog is yours. But previously dog belongs to, he was a possession of another living entity. Now he is your dog. And somebody else may take the dog and he will become his dog. So the animal may be transferred to the possession of other human beings. As soon as the animal goes away, the former proprietor no longer has a sense of ownership. As long as the animal is in his possession, he certainly has an affinity for it. But as soon as the animal is sold, the affinity is lost. This is true. Nobody laments over relationship in this world for a long time. It's just few weeks. After that, impressions remain based on attachment. After that, that also goes away, and we become absorbed in newer and newer things. Srila Prabhupada said, his father passed away, his mother passed away, his brothers passed away. One by one, every relationship. He was 70 years old. One by one, every relationship passed away. And Prabhupada said, what is family? Just a list of name remains. People are not there anymore. Just the name remains. But that that's the nature of this world. But Krishna remains eternally. Even after we leave the body, nobody will come with us. We will be all by ourselves. But calling out to Krishna and Guru is opportunity is there, even at that point of time. Sri Shukadev Goswami continued, when the conditioned soul Jiva in the form of Maharaj Chitrakethu's son had spoken in this way. So there are very nice words spoken by Harsashoka. So when Maharaj Chitrakethu heard, Chitraketu and other relatives of the dead son were all astonished, because he would just speak Papa, Mama, he would just speak these words. But when he heard such enlightened word coming by the mercy of Narad Muni, they were astonished. And thus they cut off the shackles of their affection, which was due to their relationship with him, and gave up their lamentation. This was like a final purification of Maharaj Chitraketu and his wife and the queens. After the relatives had discharged their duties by performing proper funeral ceremonies and burning the dead child's body, they gave up the affection that leads to illusion, lamentation, fear, and pain. So much pain this relationship brought to him. So much illusion he brought to him. That's a he was wailing like anything. So much lamentation. He was in deep lamentation and fear. So much fear. So this relationship leads to illusion, lamentation, fear, and pain. Every relationship. Such affection is undoubtedly difficult to give up, but they gave it up very easily by the mercy of great saintly personality. Maharaj Chitraketu and everybody else could give up those emotions. Queen Kritadyuti, who was the wife, his co-wives, or other 9 million and anyways, I don't know, one less than 10 million, that many co-wives, who had poisoned the child, were very much ashamed. And they were feeling, when they heard what I did, because of, you know she's enjoying and those material emotions, and they were very much ashamed, and they lost their bodily luster. Prabhupada says, anybody who is engaged in child killing, this is a sinful reaction. They lose their bodily luster. And in today's age, people are engaged in child killing like anything. They have uncontrolled senses. They get children untimely, and then they go for abortion. It has become so normal. Prabhupada is really criticizing in the purport. And now abortion is so easy. You just take a pill and abortion is done. That's all. You don't have to do anything. And sometime Prabhupada said in the purport, sometime after giving birth, when the children is not up to the mark, they kill the child. So this is a sign of mercilessness. Kali Yuga, one of the qualities is mercilessness. So they lost their bodily luster. Recently, one devotee called and he said, Prabhuji, my wife is carrying. I said, congratulations. And then he said, but we recently, before we figured out that she's carrying, we went for a surgery because she has some back pain. It was a laser surgery, uh, um, and the doctors are now telling that the child is exposed to laser radiations. So the child may not have proper legs, proper eyes, or maybe may develop some terminal disease at a younger age or in a middle age, um, or maybe may have some defects right from the beginning, because the child is exposed to so many lasers. So he asked me, what should I do? um, I'm very much fearful to give birth and take responsibility throughout my life of a defective child, and that child may be something that I may have to. And once a child is born, it's a lifelong commitment, and if it is deceased, then parents think, how will he or she get married, get a job, or when the child is defective, artistic child in some way. um, what should I do? And doctors are telling, don't continue further with the child and abort him, and then again go for the process of procreation. um, um, but our Krishna consciousness, we see Prabhupada is telling this is not good. So it's a very, very difficult situation for a parent who is thinking from his life perspective. And I told him, Prabhuji, in my perspective, we should not abort, um, and give birth to the child. Whatever happens, Krishna's arrangement. This is Krishna's child. We cannot commit this kind of violence. He's a devotee, initiated devotee. But this fear कि क्या करें इनके साथ. Anyways, um, this is something happened long time back. Um, the child came out and child was perfectly all right. Child, I mean, perfectly all right as of now. The child may develop anything severe, I don't know. But this thing is not at all recommended. Situations, actually, many times, um, um, we support uh, our own fears and other things over dharma, and we compromise with dharma. Not good, not good. So because they poisoned the child, they lost their bodily luster. While lamenting, O king, they remember the instruction of Angira. They heard it, but when it comes from such pure mouth, it strikes in the heart, and they gave up their ambition to bear children. They were all lamenting, we do not have children, we do not have children, we do not have children, we do not have children. They gave up their ambition to bear children. I mean, purpose of marriage life um, is Prabhupada said, raise Krishna conscious children. Prabhupada said these are Krishna's children. And Prabhupada says, if our children becomes devotees, that is a success of our mission, because they will carry over the legacy of spreading Krishna consciousness throughout the world. Prabhupada one time said, children are your deities. You must give more importance to making them Krishna conscious rather than worshipping the deities. So, and the consciousness should be clear. These are Krishna's children, and I want him or her to become a very nice Krishna conscious devotee. At the same time, it's not in our hand, but prayers are in our hand. But The lamentation, that is material emotion, because if you cannot bear a child, then there is a huge lamentation. That lamentation is still material. um, so they gave up their lamentation and their ambition because they were kind of barren women. Following the directions of the Brahmanas, they went to the bank of Yamuna, where they baited and atoned for their sinful activity. So all the queens, they went and they performed austerities on the bank of Yamuna. Um, and atone for their sin. And something from purport: if a woman performs such an abominable act, she gradually loses all her bodily luster. Bala hatya, killing of uh, one's child. Hatha Prabha. Um, and those who are sincere souls, after hearing this incident, should refrain from such child killing and should atone for their sinful activities by taking to Krishna consciousness very seriously. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, we may have commit many sinful activities. If not this activity, some other. So Prabhupada said, take Krishna consciousness very seriously. If we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra without offenses, all of one's sinful actions are surely atoned for immediately, but one should not commit such deeds again, for that is an offense. Okay. Thereafter, being very much pleased with Chitraketu, who was a self-controlled devotee and surrender soul, Narada, the most powerful sage, spoke to him the following transcendental instructions. Yes, Niru Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Prabhuji, as you just mentioned that if we chant without offenses, Krishna will. So Prabhuji, my question is, I find it very difficult to chant without offenses. So any one offenses, like many offenses will be there. So what is the hope? Because whenever I heard chanting without offenseless chanting, I lose my hope. Like I felt like it is not possible for me to chant offenselessly. So what is the hope, Prabhuji?
Well, it's a question for me also. All your questions are very, very intelligent, relevant. Um, um, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says continuous chanting and more chanting will lead us to offenseless chanting. Um, but something that we should do at our stage is try to identify the offenses that are happening in my chanting and work on it. Sachidhar Maharaj says that's something we should do, is work on our offenses. Recite the 10 offenses, see the 10 offenses of the holy name, and see which one is critical for me, which one I'm committing, at least which one I'm conscious of, and work on them. And the beauty of this offenseless chanting and how Krishna reveals, once you get those down, Krishna will reveal to you some other offenses which you thought, oh, these offenses I don't commit. And one by one, you will realize all these 10 offenses have very, very deeper meanings. And we may feel that some of them I'm not committing, but more and more subtle it will become till the time. So, whatever offenses Krishna is revealing to you today, work on them. As more revelations come, work on them and keep on doing that. Take some steps, do something about it, and keep chanting the holy names. Does that is that okay, Niru Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, like as you said, work on that. So sometimes we feel Hare Krishna.
Yeah, sometimes we feel.
Okay. Sometimes we know that we are like committing offenses, and but we feel helpless not to uh, consciously work on them because as we are under the control of material nature. So Prabhuji, only um, like praying can help, like if we just pray to Krishna to help us to not to commit while chanting.
Yeah, that's a part of it. uh, Another part may
Okay.
be what situation is provoking those offenses to happen. How can identify your weakness? How can I avoid being in that situation? We all know where I give up, what situations, what is the cause, what is the kind of something that is triggering it, and how can I avoid being in that situation, and at the same time praying, because um, um, Maya knows our in and out. So she knows our strength, she knows our weakness, she knows where we will give in, and we also know. So we should try to act externally and with prayers combination. Um, our endeavor will attack Krishna's mercy. Our endeavor means how can I avoid being in that situation where I become weak. That also helps. Does that, can you relate? Is that all right?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, you said along with the prayers, we need to put our endeavor, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Deepika Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have like one thing, just like it came into my mind as you were telling about the abortion thing and stuff. Like, I just it recall like when I used to stay in Florida, so there was a family near my house. So, like they were like old couple. So that old man, he was not keeping well, so he was admitted to hospital. Then like after some time the doctors, here they have the rules like it's like law, according to law, so they can like give morphine, and whoever is not responding to medicine they can so what so like that's also like committing only sin like that doctors do, like that's like also a type of killing only, right?
Nowadays, doctors are supporting it. That's why this is called Kali.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. That's like so it's like a sin, right, Prabhuji?
Yeah, it's purely like this doctor told this devotee you should abort because the child may have some defect. We don't encourage you go ahead with the child. So doctors are supporting it, just like people in general. Government is supporting cow killing. Government is supporting it's legalized. So likewise these doctors, this is Kali Yuga. So but we should live a pure life according to scriptures. Scriptures never change, but the laws of this world will keep on changing. Something that is illegal today will become legalized tomorrow. Animal killing was completely illegal at some point of time, but it is legalized now. So our mundane laws will keep on changing. Vedic laws are fixed and they are the real laws and we follow them. All right.
Guruji, I think Mataji was indicating to euthanasia.
Okay.
So in
Unmute, say again. Some, it was low voice.
yes, Prabhuji. So Prabhuji, I think Deepika Mataji was tending towards what is in commonly known as euthanasia, so or mercy killing. So when the patient is too much in pain and there is no hope of um, keeping them alive, using lots of machines, they think it is better to put him to sleep or just kill him.
Yes,
So in that,
yes, Anirudh Prabhu, that's right.
yeah, it's called euthanasia, Prabhu. So Prabhu,
Well,
in that sense, uh, how do we look at dharma? Is it okay to keep that person in pain, or what should be done, Prabhu?
Well, um, I cannot speak on it with firmness until I see an example from scriptures. But our understanding is whatever the person is supposed to go through, he will go through. And sometimes we can pray, but to physically kill that person, I don't know about that. I cannot say it is all right, although the name looks very fascinating, mercy killing, and everything looks, but still there is killing. And um, Prabhupada says, like, some example that comes to my mind is it is good for a person to be punished for the wrong thing he has done, because if he is not punished and left in the name of compassion, then in the next life he has to be punished. So everything is like orchestrated by the Lord, and this situation is still taking control in our hand. What do you think?
Yes, Prabhuji.
We can
That is
pray
true.
for that person.
Yeah, right, Prabhu. But definitely, like, people who murder someone, or who do other crimes such as rape or whatever, Manu speaks about very strongly about them, giving them punishment so that they don't suffer in the
In
next
the
life.
next life. Yeah, everything is like Angira Muni says, Lord's plan. um, and we can pray, we feel compassion, we do what we need to do to help that person in that situation. But to kill that person, I don't know, bro. Is that all right? Can we go ahead?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, so probably we'll end in 2 3 verses now, and I will relate the rest of the story. And I still need 2 3 minutes from all of you to see what you want to discuss next. Thereafter, being very much pleased with Chitraketu, who was self controlled devotee and surrendered soul, Narada, the most powerful sage, spoke to him the following transcendental instruction. So Narada Muni told, he enlightened Chitraketu. um, Narad gave Chitraketu the following mantra: O Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are addressed by Omkar. I offer my respectful obeisances to you. O Vasudev, I meditate upon you. O Pradyumna, O Aniruddha, O Sankarshana, I offer my respectful obeisances. So, like that's Narad. Now, this is English translation, but there is a mantra. There is a series of mantras which is basically glorifying the different incarnations of the Lord was given to Chitraketu. He recited these over and over again, and within a week he saw the Lord face to face. And then there is a conversation, but that conversation is simply Maharaj Chitraketu glorifying. That's all. And Sankarshan said, "You will not fall into illusion." He gave him that blessings, and then he left. And then Maharaj Chitraketu, it is described something happened with Maharaj Chitraketu. He did a small mistake, Maharaj Chitraketu, um, and the mistake he did was he became little proud because he was feeling divine ecstasy in his heart. um, um, and he has a spiritual master, Narad Muni, and he saw the Lord face to face. So all these divine revelations made him little proud, and that that pride Krishna sensed in his heart, in the heart of Maharaj Chitraketu. Although he was fully pure, but this pride is still our free will. Even if we become pure, we can think of ourselves as great. And then this is there are many kinds of pride. One kind of pride is Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur explains as pride arising from bhakti. Our success in our devotion. Success does not mean we have um, some big project. Success means real success means we have holy name, we have divine divinity in our heart. um, um, that itself can be a cause of pride. So when the Lord sends it within the heart of Maharaj Chitraketu, it so happened that he was going on a airplane. These airplane, they are not like mundane airplanes, but they just fly based on one's desires. So as Maharaj Chitraketu was going, he saw Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva was um, um, Parvati was sitting on his lap, on the lap of Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva was speaking on renunciation and detachment from this material world. Just like something similar, Angira Muni spoke about detachment, Krishna speaks about detachment. So Lord Shiva, and these were like renowned sages. Um, and Maharaj Chitraketu smiled. And Parvati, Mother Parvati became um, very angry, very angry. It was all Lord's arrangement, it was all orchestrated by the Lord. And she said, and she misunderstood. Misunderstanding also arises because of um, 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 everything is Lord's arrangement. But Maharaj Chitraketu, because he was so, Mother Parvati said, you are questioning, you think you are such a great soul that now you can question Lord Shiva also. So um, she um, she told Maharaj Chitraketu that This is a demoniac quality in a way. So I curse you to become a demon, and that's how Maharaj Chitraketu took the form of Vratrasura. But nonetheless, the devotional service attained can never be lost. Um, so since there was not, I mean, this story we already know. So I only wanted to focus on the interaction of Angira Muni and Narad Muni and the sun and the words they spoke and present those teachings. So we all can go through them. And then Lord Shiva actually became upset also with Mother Parvati. And he said that, see, these are the great devotees of the Lord. They are Narayana, Parayana. It doesn't matter. And Maharaj Chitraketu, because he was completely self realized, it's just that feeling was there. But Lord wanted to remove all last traces of any impurities that may remain, so that Maharaj Chittaketu may go back home, back to Godhead. So as Vratrasura, that was also gone, and he made it back home, back to Godhead in the as a life of Vratrasura. But Maharaj Chittaketu, because he was so divine and self-realized, he did not mind the curse of Mother Parvati. He saw that as Lord's arrangement. He saw everything as Lord's arrangement. He was a perfectly pure devotee, but things may arise. But Lord Shiva, knowing, Parvati was shocked. She was like, "What kind of personality is he?" Um, and Lord Shiva told, "Just see the greatness of the Lord's devotees. Um, they don't mind um, going to hell, or they don't mind becoming a demon." Maharaj Chitraketu did not exhibit any opposition taking such a life, as long as I can engage in my devotional service. So the protection that Krishna gives, where he says Name Bhakta Pranashyati, is that your advancement, your devotion, your remembrance of the Lord will continue. It continued as Maharaj, as a deer. It continued as Jad Bharat. It continued from Maharaj Chitraketu from his previous life, and it continued from Vratrasura from this life of Maharaj Chitraketu. That guarantee is there that we will never be lost. Um, 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 and that's a event that led to the birth of Vratrasura. So if it was not something that I can spend another 1.5 hours on that pastime. That's why I thought I will just summarize. So this, I think, second last verse, although I summarized the whole story. Thereafter, only after a week, while fasting and drinking only water. This is also important because he was so eager to realize the Lord that he drank only water and he fasted. By the influence of that mantra that Chitraketu had practiced, his mind became increasingly enlightened. He started feeling more and more divinity in his spiritual progress, and he attained the shelter of lotus feet of Anantadev. Okay, so we come to the end of Maharaj Chitraketu pastime, and maybe you can, some of you can share what should we do next week. Now, some options. A beautiful pastime is uh, one of the beautiful pastime is Maharaj Dhruva, which has lot of teachings. His interaction. I mean, what we know is kind of quite a small. It's a long pastime, but it has many different aspects of devotion. Uh, we can discuss something from Shrimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, some Krishna pastimes we can discuss. Um, Ashwini Mataji at one point said Krishna killing demons. We can discuss those. We can discuss about Avanti Brahmana, who was a Brahmana from Avanti, and this is a pastime, Avanti Brahmana pastime, that sannyasis recites every day, um, and brings renunciation. Avanti Brahmana. Um, yeah, everyone is open to speak. Deepika Mataji, you can start, and others can also contribute.
Prabhuji, I have a question. As Narad Muni, when he was a boy in his previous birth, and he received, the special mercy from the sannyasis. But his mother got bitten by a snake and she died.
Yeah.
So she was also a devotee. So what happened to her? Just like it was less like I felt like where did she go? Like did she get liberated or like
Well, I don't know. Srimad Bhagavatam does not describe that. All it describes is she was bitten by mother and Narad Muni took it as Lord's mercy and he started traveling towards the north. Something logical conclusion is if one person goes back to God at 7 generations up and down, become a pure devotee of the Lord, Narasimha Dev promise that was the last birth of Narad Muni. After that, he became a pure devotee in that life. So I can logically conclude, although Srimad Bhagavatam does not describe, that she either got liberated, just like Maharaj Dhruva, when he died, he asked about his mother, and his mother was already going back home, back to God, even before Dhruv Maharaj. Is that all right? That's just a reflection.
yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, can we have a class on Jagannath Prabhu, Baldev Maharaj and Subhadra, Mata Subhadra?
Like something about how they appeared, or something about
Yeah, like, like I love hearing about them, Prabhuji. I can hear
Jagan.
like every day, every time, like 24 hours about
Yeah,
them.
they are very revealing deities. They
Yes,
very
Prabhuji. So, like
grossly reciprocate.
anything, yes, anything about them. Like
Okay.
they have like millions of things to like, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
There are so many
so,
past. There are books and books on
yes.
uh, Lord Jagannath pastimes. Okay, let's hear more.
Uh, Prabhuji, next week on Sunday, tomorrow is Gopashtami, right,
Yes.
Prabhuji?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Prabji, this is Perumal. In Mahabharat, when Bhishmachari is in the arrow bed, so Yudhishthira Maharaj asked him like, what is the real dharma? Who is the Paradev, and we have to
Yeah.
worship. So that is the time Krishna was also nearby, and Bhishma Dev said he was telling the Sahasranam,
Yeah.
the 1,000 names for Lord Krishna,
Yeah.
and each word has its own
Each.
meaning. It's a pretty long. I mean, it takes 20
Yeah.
minutes to recite it. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
so if you can go through each words and understand the meaning of that Sanskrit sloga versus explanation, I think because I recite and I don't know meaning of the Sanskrit slogas, what they try to explain.
Sahasranama.
Shastranama, yeah,
Well,
Vishnu Shastranama.
I have to admit myself that I myself is not an expert in that subject matter.
Okay.
So I don't know if I can take that service. Plus, I can take that service, but the thing is, I don't have a commentary by our acharyas and Srila Prabhupada on that.
Okay,
So
okay,
that would make more interpretations come in from other authors, which I don't know how authentic they are.
okay,
So
okay. Many Magacharyas have written explanations, Vyakyan on that. So um, it's each verse is like very lot of knowledge, lot of
yeah,
information into that.
yeah.
So um, it
Krishna's
takes
Kaviraj,
a lot of time to go through each
yeah,
one actually. So, but I've not find I've searched in the web anywhere like. I could not find a very authentic information explaining, the purport of
yeah.
Shastranam. So,
Just Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami describes just 2-3 verses that deals with Lord Chaitanya, that he
okay,
took sannyas and but there is no commentary that I am aware by our acharyas, and that's make it tricky, and that's may make some interpretations to come in. That's why I'm little hesitant to take up that task.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Just for the
uh,
sake of maintaining the purity of the discussions.
sure, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a glorification for Krishna in thousand
Yeah,
names. It's
fully
absolutely
agree. Yeah,
very,
yes.
very,
Yeah,
very nice to recite. And
yeah, yeah.
so,
Fully agree with you. Thank
thank you.
you. Okay. Anything else? No one
Prabhuji,
else?
can we discuss sometime like from Srimad Bhagavatam, from first canto, second chapter, I think from 16 to 21, those are like 9 stages of bhakti or something.
Yeah, yes.
So can we discuss that sometimes? Because that those are like so good. Like I read so many times, but every time I read, I find
Yeah,
like, you
that's a
know,
very important section
so
that I'm planning to cover in our Saturday calls, Mataji,
okay, okay,
or in our
Prabhuji.
Thursday calls. First few
Okay.
chapters we will cover, they are the basis of Bhagavatam that we will cover after this Gita. So they will come. All the 9 stages we will cover, referring to those and correlation that is already there. It's just over time we will see them. We already have
Oh,
those details.
okay, Prabhuji.
Okay.
And maybe sometimes like we have like, you know, how to overcome, like what are the anarthas and how to overcome the anarthas, and like because like on the anarthas we can like
Discuss more.
we yeah, because we don't know so much thing about anarthas, but when we like sometimes for me when I hear different lectures, like it's like so many things about anarthas that like I hear every time for new things about in the new lectures. So maybe sometimes we can
Well,
discuss about that.
Krishna killing demons, demons represent anarthas. These topics do come there, um, among those. Uh, okay, so well, I heard uh, everyone. Anybody else wants to say anything? Any inspiration anyone else has?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay, Vikas Prabhu.
Prabhuji, is having too many clothes is anartha. Is having 200 pairs of clothes.
Let's, yeah, it's not a simple living. It comes under greed, over accumulation. Um, 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 Rupa Goswami describes it as atyahara. Atyahara means over accumulation of anything. It also includes overeating, or it includes anything overindulging. Is that okay, Vikas Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay.
Prabhuji, sorry, can we discuss on Chatushloki Bhagavatam?
We can, highly philosophical. Like,
Okay.
it's too much philosophy that everybody will think, "Arey, kya ho raha hai yahan pe?" It speaks more on Brahman, God has a form. It's highly philosophical topic. It does come in second canto of Shrimad Bhagavatam. Um, um, okay, I noted it down. Maybe we can discuss the basic of it, just the flow of it, and not going in too much detail. If you see Prabhupada's purport are long, um, in those.
Prabhuji, so like Chatushloki Bhagavatam was spoken to Brahmaji by the Lord himself,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So how the Bhagavatam we are reading apart from the Chatushloki Bhagavatam came into being, like Vyasadeva wrote it, or because when we see that, okay, first Lord spoke to Brahma and from Brahma the knowledge is coming
yeah,
to us,
yeah,
but the Lord spoke to Brahmaji only 4 verses, that Chatushloki Bhagavatam, right?
yeah,
But like all these verses apart from that Chatushloki came
yeah.
to us.
That's why it's called Smriti, because it is described in Shrimad Bhagavatam, 5th chapter, 1st canto. It was revealed to Vyasadeva. It was a revelation. That's why it's called Smriti. Shruti is something that directly Lord spoke. Smriti is something that was meditated upon by great sages like Ved Vyas and other great sages. What Ved Vyas did is he composed a literature from Vedas and from all different pastimes of devotees, from the Lord personal pastime that he exhibited, all that simply glorifies Krishna. And he composed everything, and he called it Shrimad Bhagavatam. So this is like Lord's glorification. But the Chatushloki Bhagavatam establishes Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has a form and those basic principles, and we are part and parcel. So, and bhakti is a mood to attain Krishna. So that siddhanta is spoken already, and then that siddhanta, okay, how to take shelter of the Lord, what is devotional service, how devotees acted in this way, um, that is spoken and elaborated by Vedas. Does that help?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I guess we will
Sorry,
end for today. Yeah,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sorry to,
Shweta Mataji. Okay.
like, can we have a discussion on the surrendering process, Sharanagati?
uh, Yeah, we can actually have a talk on what surrender means. Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes surrender means six things, and we can discuss on those six things and what surrender means. Okay, I have noted it down. Okay, thank
Okay,
you, Shweta
thank
Mataji.
you.
Ashwini Mataji,
Prabhuji, are we taking topics for the next week? You are taking topics?
I mean future topic because Chitrakethu Maharaj is done.
So Prabhuji, like what is the pattern? Are we going to complete the all the pastimes from the Bhagavatam, whatever like learning, maybe prayers, or we can take any topic?
Well, I was thinking more from Bhagavatam because since we are already in this mood of jewels from Shrimad Bhagavatam,
So
um,
Prabhuji, can we take then Ajamil or Gajendra pastime? Or like Ranti Dev, though like there are so many pastimes, no?
there is unlimited. That's why I am asking all of you. Well, Ajamil is a very good pastime. Uh, uh, Gajendra, Gajendra Moksha is a very good pastime. Um, yeah,
Even
we,
that Brahmana, which Mahaprabhu recited prayers of when he took sannyas,
Avanti Brahmana.
Avanti Brahmana.
Yeah, all the sannyasis recite Avanti Brahmana prayers every day. So that's another pastime where he established the cause of all my suffering, happiness, and distress is the mind. Um, those are some more options. Well, okay, I heard. Uh, anyone
Uh,
else?
Prabhuji, yeah, like, can we discuss some of the Leela avatars? Like, you know, um, we know
Like,
most of them, but like Rishabh Dev or Prithu, like, those are like, what do we say? We say there are so many popular. We
yeah,
cannot say
like,
popular, Prabhuji. Like we know, like we know about Lord Ram, we know about Lord Balram, but we don't have that much knowledge. Especially, I'm talking on myself. Like suppose, for example, Rishabh Dev or Prithu or like Dhanvantari, like something like that.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, yeah. This all topics comes in Bhagavatam. That's one
Yes,
option.
yes, Prabhuji.
Well, I'm hearing everything. We choose one and slowly we cover many. One devotee told me prayers to of Queen Kunti. Prabhu, this we are planning to cover in our Thursday call. Like we will do a just a summary of Bhagavatam after Gita. There we cover um, this Siddhanta of Bhagavatam that covers first 8 chapters. There
Okay, Prabhuji.
prayers of Queen Kunti will come. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay. There are very less stories in the first initial chapter, but it's mainly Siddhanta that is very important. So I thought since we are discussing philosophy, we covered there and more of pastimes with ingrained stories, with ingrained philosophy. Okay. So I heard from all of you, and let me also think about it, unless anyone else wants to say anything. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. Uh, Vanchakalpatarubhesha kripa sindhube evacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णवेंद्र की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद। Thank you. We will do as everyone suggested. Dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Pranam Prabhuji.
Dandavat.